Alright, L-Mid and JBM from VillainNews here. Now, it's late May, early June 2016, and all of you have probably heard the big announcement of the Halloween franchise. For the first time in 30 years, John Carpenter is returning to the franchise, and so I thought I'd do this video, just give my interpretation of the whole press conference and everything that was said. Okay, now, to most horror fans, Halloween is like the mecca. It's like
the coup d'etat,
the acme of their horror,
the cherry on top of the horror industry,
and then everything else just falls way behind. Okay, so it's at the paramount of everyone's interest. Now, the Weinsteins had control of it for over 20 years, since the mid-90s, and I love the Weinsteins. I love a lot of things they've done. H2O was good, but obviously a lot of their films had the flaws, including the Rob Zombie remake, but we're not really going to get into that right now. So, the rights to Miramax was actually acquired by some company, some Middle Eastern conglomerate called BIN International. And so they acquired the rights, and they hired Jason Blumhouse to produce the next Halloween film. Then the Halloween Returns, everyone heard about this, where it was supposed to be set in modern times with a cop and Michael Myers on death row and he escapes. Well, I don't know, they considered that too fatuous, so they completely scrapped it. Now they're completely starting over from fresh now. They have no director, no writer, but
we got John. We got John Carpenter, though.
And it's caused
he's on board.
An immense jubilation from everyone out there.
John says he might do the music, and if so, he wants his son involved.
And this is coming on the heels of... Now, first off, John Carpenter is a very avaricious man. And this is coming on the heels of him going on a 30-city worldwide tour for his music. So he's really... You gotta be... Just to be a cynic here, you gotta be saying he's really doing this to help promote himself. And it's kind of like in a grandfather role is what they call it. He's executive producer, which means he ain't directing, he ain't writing. I mean, he is very talented with his music. He made
associating his name with the picture so that everybody comes just because they know his name.
I will give him his just praise, because the Halloween theme has to be the top horror theme of all time, in a lot of people's opinion. And if not, it's definitely top 5.
It's definitely.
But the fact that he's grandfathering the project, and the guy has many other interests, including basketball and video games.
Let's sum it up.
I really equate this to an aged sports star coach coming into a sports regime like Nolan Ryan to the Texas Rangers, or Scotty Bowman with the Blackhawks, or Al Kaline with the Tigers. They really don't do shit. They aren't hands-on in the day-to-day. They might get asked opinions here and there, but they're not running the show or anything. He's not going to be that creatively involved. I mean, I agree with the Michael Myers fanatic. I think all the cigarette smoke has gone to John's brain. I mean, it's got to be as arid as the Sahara Desert up there. I mean, I'd be shocked if there was a morsel of creativity left up there. I mean, at least the Sahara Desert produces salt. I don't know if this guy can produce anything more of genuine value. And then he gets introduced at the press conference. He comes in there with his cavalier attitude, and the whole crowd is, yay! They're so uproarious with their applause. I mean, the echoes of it can still be heard to this day. But really,
I don't know about that, but. To sum it up, yeah, we got John involved, but they don't know if it's going to be a sequel or a remake or a prequel or this or that. All they know is we're going to be making a movie and John will be involved, but we don't know nothing.
But they did say there is a lot of hints in there in the press conference and what they said. They said they want to go back to the basics. They want to keep it simple. They don't want to go into too much backstory, which basically means it's going to be a carbon replica of the original. Darkness, Halloween night, Michael Myers just slashing people. slash.
Teens, preferably.
But if there is no story, if there is no characters, if the characters don't matter, and if there is no backstory, then there really isn't much at stake here. And what it's ended up going to be doing is, I see this almost as an homage type, kind of like what Disney did with Star Wars Episode 7 and how that was such an abject failure in my mind, because it was just like, hey, let's get all the old fans, we're going to do the old props, we're gonna take the same template of the desert land,
the lost droid and this and that. It was pretty
and the big
up.
space station, and they're gonna crash it up. They just put way too, and if you just see it, it's the exact same story, retarded. Except for a pathetic version of that. Anyway, so that's seemingly what they're going to do. They're going to throw out the Samhain connection, it seems. Which is, if you really want to see who, if I was really interested in this, if Dennis Etchison, the guy who did the novelization, he's the one who gave all the backstory and the Samhain connection. This guy's really talented. He's the writer. He's done a lot of movie novelizations. He, in the original movie, doesn't have much depth, and Dennis Etchison is the one who really fleshed out the backstory. If you read the original novelization, the novelization to Part 2, I've done reviews on my movie novelization blog of Part 2, and I'm going to be doing one of Part 1, the first novel. Anyway, if he was coming along, then I'd be thrilled. Then I'd be intrigued. This is what's going to happen. Then it's going to come out. It's just going to be a derivative piece of forgotten trash. You know, maybe you'll get some interest out of it, but it's not going to progress the story. I think it will be a sequel. Maybe it'll be babysitters in the original Myers house. And I kind of lost my train of thought here. But
I was thinking more would be a prequel. But go on.
Yeah, prequel how?
Leading up to his snapping of being fully Michael Myers.
Yeah, so he's totally numb in the hospital, kind of like what Rob Zombie did. It's not going to be a prequel. Anyway.
You never know. They can go anywhere because they haven't announced anything. This is all nothing but speculation.
Anyway, so we got horror fans genuflecting like, yay, this is the greatest news ever. And then, okay, this is what I was going to say. Then it's going to come out. Then we're going to hear months later, after its release, years from now, like, oh, well, John really didn't even do that much. John just collected his money. And, of course, Jason even said, well, he drives a hard bargain. We had to pay him a ton of money, essentially, is what he was saying. John's difficult.
Are you saying
he ain't going to do anything creative with it. If he does the music, then good. That'll at least...
Are you making a bet that this is going to stay in production hell?
That'll at least improve the quality of the film if he does the music. If he at least does that. Then we're going to learn, oh, well, John really didn't even do anything. This was really this guy's project. They want to hire a director who's not up and coming. They want to do a guy who's had a few films under his belt. So I'm thinking it's going to be a named director. A director with some cachet. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it as of now. Maybe I'll do an update on it months from now. But anyway, this was JBM and L-Mid for Mr. Creepshow 9. Thank you for watching. Tune in to all our other upcoming horror, sci-fi, thriller, fantasy videos. I'm out. Thanks for watching.